Now we're ready to look at the Lesson 13 problem set. You have your lesson summary here that you're welcome to read on your own. Number 1, the lunch program at Blake Middle School is being revised to align with new nutritional standards that reduce calories and increase servings of fruits and vegetables. The administration decided to do a census of all students at the middle school by giving a survey to the students about the school lunches. Name some questions you would include in the survey and explain why you think these questions would be important to ask. So, here, this is just your own ideas of questions that you think that should be included. And you could have anything that you like there, like how often do you eat the school lunch? Do you ever bring your lunch from home? What is your favorite food? Would you eat salads if they were offered? Would you like to have a baked potato bar? Okay, so different things could be used there. That's basically just whatever you would like to ask. Now we have a paragraph here, and it's going to have some of the survey results. We're going to identify population characteristics and sample statistics. Okay, so I'm going to do population characteristics in this blue color, and then I'll do sample statistics in a pink color as we read. About 3/4 of the students surveyed eat the school lunch regularly. So this is talking about all of the students were surveyed. So this would be a population characteristic. The median number of days per month the students at Blake Middle School ate a school lunch was 18 days. 36% of students responded their favorite fruit is banana. The survey results for Tanya's 7th grade homeroom showed the median number of days per month that her classmates ate lunch at school was 22, and only 20% liked bananas. The Fiesta salad was approved by 78% of the group of students who tried it. Okay, so this was just the group who tried it. Okay. But when it was put on the menu, 40% of the students liked it. Of the 7th graders as a whole, 73% liked spicy shrimp, but only 2 out of 5 of all the middle school students liked them. Okay? So the median, it's basically, this was the students at Blake Middle School, the 18 days, 36%. The survey results, now at this point, you are switching to just the 7th grade homeroom. Okay, so that's when we switch to the sample as opposed to the beginning of this paragraph where it is the population of the whole middle school. Okay. So in the 7th grade, it was 22 days out of the month, as opposed to the whole school was 18. 20% like the bananas as opposed to the 36. Okay. So then the Fiesta was approved by 78% of the group of students who tried it. So that's, again, that is just a sample. That's not the whole population. It's just of the people who tried it. Now, 40% of the students liked it. So this is out of all the students. That is population. 7th graders, so that's just a sampling of the school, just the 7th graders. 2 out of 5 of all the middle school liked them. So 2 out of 5 of all the middle school, that was the population, all the middle school students. And then the sample statistics were from either the 7th grade homeroom or from like the people that tried that one thing, the Fiesta salad. Now the next section, we are supposed to describe how we would collect data to answer the question and decide whether it is a sample statistic or population characteristic. So I recorded this a minute ago, but it didn't record, so I already have my answers here. Where would the 7th grade class like to go for their field trip? Well, actually the 8th grade. So you would survey all the 8th graders, probably, because that would be reasonable. And then you would have a population characteristic, because your results are based on the population they apply to. Everyone was asked. If you'll remember earlier, we said population is like the whole. And then a sample is just a subset of that population. Okay, but then we could, hopefully, if it's a fair sample, apply this sample statistic to the entire population. The average number of pets per family for families that live in our town, I said I would probably do a sample for that, and maybe I could go to the grocery store and ask people there, because if I just went to like a pet store, I'd probably get a different result. But, you know, everybody needs groceries, so grocery store might be a good spot to go. People who have pets are not more or less likely to go to a grocery store. Okay, if people tried a new diet, what percent would have an improvement in cholesterol reading? So if our population is people, all of the people, we're not going to test all the people, do a cholesterol reading for all of the people. Instead, we would do a sample, and I was thinking maybe we could even just sample people in a particular health clinic and or particular doctor's office. The average grade point average of students who got accepted to a particular state university. I would imagine this data exists in a database. So I think for a particular state university, we could just get that database, and then that would be a population sample, because we have data for every person that the study applies to. A typical number of home runs hit in a particular season for Major League Baseball players. Again, this is something that is going to be easily available. Someone is collecting data about this, so you could just access that data and then look at the typical number of home runs for Major League Baseball players in a season. So you could look at all that data. That's a population. Okay, now for number 3, identify a question that would lead to collecting data from the given set as a population, and then a different question where the data could be a sample from a larger population. So for that, I thought I would just use the ones that I have here. The school might be the population when considering what to serve for school lunches or what kind of speaker to bring in for an all-school assembly. So that means we would ask everybody, and the school is the population. Okay, now the school might be a sample when considering how students in the state did on the algebra portion of the state assessment, or what % of students engage in extracurricular activities. So if we were going to survey our students, but then apply the result to the state, then that would mean the school was actually the sample from all the students in this state. Okay, so what if our state was the population? The % of students who drop out of school could be calculated from data for the population of all students in the schools. Now, how people were likely to vote in the coming election could use the state as a sample of a particular area of the country. So, these are just different ideas, thinking about would my state be the sample or would my state be the population? And again, I'm going to draw that same figure I keep drawing. You know, what is the entire population and what is the sample? Okay. So if I'm talking about all of the students in Tennessee, then our school is a sample. But if I'm asking about what is the favorite food for students in our school, then our school is the population. So this diagram I think is very helpful. Suppose the researchers sampled attendees of certain movies and found the mean age, so that's the average, was 17 years old. Based on the observation, which of the following would be most likely? So they sampled attendees of a certain movie. The mean ages of all the people who went to see the movie was 17 years old. So let's think about that. Would that make sense that the researchers sampled attendees of the movie and they found out the average age was 17? So which of the following would be most likely? The mean ages of all the people who saw the movie was 17. About a fourth of the people were older than 51. The mean age of all people who went to see the movie would probably be in an interval around 17. In other words, between 15 and 19. Or the median age of those who attended the movie was 17 as well. So if we think about what we've learned so far, I'm feeling that A is probably not the best option. I'm feeling that C would be most likely because the sample, since I didn't ask everybody, it's not going to be exact. Okay, so this would be the exact. At first you might think that sounds right, but it's more likely close to that, but not exactly that. So that's a good thought. Now, this number 5 goes back to that whole history of the United States Census. We didn't use that. We didn't do that problem. And if you are interested in that, you can look at that. But I'm not going to go over this. I will provide you the results just in case that interests you. So for Part A here, it's approximately $65,000 a year. And Part B says the data come from a sample, since the report was a study and not just about the population. So the numbers are probably sample statistics. And that is your problem set.